Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards. The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. So, we got that stuff up there. Capricorn. Okay. Excuse me. We have some face down cards, which usually talks about unseen changes or secrets that, until you see what's coming forward, it doesn't make sense. Something like that. Like something's popping up from the environment that you're not going to see coming. And there's this one card. The wheel on its side, which is the question, is fate going in your favor or not? And I feel like this is one of those times where the wheel, it's tipping back and forth, right? All you got to do is push it one way or push it the other just a little bit, but once it starts, boom. You have a slight amount of control. Usually the wheel doesn't give control. But it's kind of like wobbling at the top here. We're gonna go left. We're gonna go right. We're gonna go left. We're gonna go right. And if you wait to the right moment and you see you want it to go that way, it rocks this way. You wait. It rocks this way. You give it a little push, and there it goes. But once it goes, that's it. And you gotta you have to be careful. The wheel is fickle. So let's see where this is going, because I feel like I don't know. We'll see, because I'm not used to the wheel giving a choice. But then again, it's very particular. It's not going to be an easy choice. I'm not feeling it'll be easy, but we'll see how it goes. Coming into this, you got Buffalo with the Wombat. Be at home with Wombat. The abundant universe will provide with the Buffalo. When I feel Buffalo, I feel like there's a lot of tradition, a lot of nobility, a lot of pride with the Buffalo, and I feel like you're in a very good place. The Buffalo is a very powerful situation, in my opinion. Animal. The Wombat is talking about fighting for what's yours, protecting what's yours if you have to keep it out of sight. I'm getting a very home feel with that. That makes sense to me. So when you go into this, you have everything pretty secure. And you're looking to keep it that way, and you're not going to just let somebody push you off your mark. Not that that would be anything new, in my opinion, because that sounds like a normal Capricorn feel to me. Having it together, having the dignity to realize, well, it's where it's together, it's solid because I made it solid. So you have that, that dignity that you created. So this is what we're starting with. It seems like a normal Capricorn energy to me. This face down card is telling me this is approaching you slowly. The Nine of Swords in the environment, but it's face down, which is telling me there's a problem coming forward. And you're probably hearing about it in the distance, kind of like you're getting a little oh, something's going on over there. It's almost like a relative or a coworker. For a lot of you, I feel like coworker really hits. Something over in that department over there ain't right. Something over there is a little stinky, not right. But I'm not over there, so that's not my business. And that's how I'm feeling about it. The thing is, it's kind of like this is face down, but that means this is approaching. It may be over here now, but it's coming your way. And it's almost like the heads up that something a little stinky is coming your way. Okay. So you're starting to hear these rumors, but I don't think you're understanding that they're coming towards you, or you're seeing something not right, or people are unhappy over there. But I don't feel like you're realizing it's coming your way, or you're trying to just leave it alone, kind of like, I don't want that attention, I don't want that to come my way, so let it stay over there. I'll mind my own business, it doesn't have to be my issue. I don't want it to be. Is it Groundhog? Groundhog with the moon. The Groundhog says, time to let go. I'm getting some fear with the Groundhog, just to be fair. It could be time related, but I'm getting like a fear thing. The moon, with the moon especially, with the Groundhog, like Groundhog sees its shadow, all that stuff, that's what's popping into my head. Like, there's a fear element to this that's kind of just a little bit kind of like, if you think about a groundhog, like being scared by your shadow, I know it's a thing. It's not really, But that thought, that energy is kind of like, it's being afraid of nothing. And there's people that are starting to get really amped up about this. Now, I feel you nipping this right in the bud. You got the Lovers with the Knight of Wands, kind of like, listen, people. You don't start, like, you don't start crying about the spilled milk when the milk is still in the container on the table. It's kind of like the milk is safe on the on the table in the container. Like, everything's cool. Yeah, it's too close to the edge. You don't start crying about it. Fix it. And I feel like that's what you're telling people. Kind of like, don't start crying about things before there's a problem. If you really think there's a problem, try to fix the problem. Don't just sit there and cry about, well, it's going to happen, I know it's going to happen. Try to fix it. Do something about it. And I feel like that's your energy kind of coming in. Like, don't just be whining about it. If you're really that afraid of it, try to fix it. Do something about it. Don't just wait for life to smack you across the face. Like, that's stupid. Just stand, like, I'm waiting for my smack. Like, why would I do that? That's stupid. And I feel like that's your energy saying to that, like, don't do that. Don't just stand there and whine about things. Things are okay right now. If you're worried, go forward and find out the truth and try to make things right. Try to secure things. Take that milk, put it in the fridge, if it's that big of a deal for you. Put it in the center of the table. Move things around. Don't make it such an issue. So that's your energy saying, like, let's have some common sense here. Let's not just wait for life to just smack us across the face. Let's get up and move so we don't get smacked. All right, the next thing coming in. Face down cards. A change does happen. So, this change happens. It's almost like the milk does fall off the table. And I feel you kind of looking at this like, well, I had my own thing going on. That was their business. They should pick up their own mess. I've got my own stuff going on. So you see change. It's almost like whatever they thought was going to happen happened. And things are changing in the environment here. You got your own stuff going on. You're continuing to do what you need to do. You gave your advice when it was pertinent. You secure your side the best you can. Now you're going on, you're continuing to do what you need to do. It's almost like I feel like some of you are actually talking, like people are afraid they're going to lose their jobs. And you're like, well, if you're afraid you're going to lose your job, start looking for another one today. Like, don't just sit there and wait for the axe to hit you. Find something else now. Don't wait for somebody to get rid of you. If you're really afraid, because we all have livelihoods we have to keep ourselves accountable for. We have bills we got to pay. So if you're afraid you're going to lose your job, start looking for a new one right now. Like, don't wait. And I feel like maybe some people did lose their jobs, but you're like, all right, I feel fine where I am. I know my worth. I know what's going on here. You seem to be very secure in what you're doing. So it seems fine. So we got this current coming in here. Eagle, deer, and badger. In the environment, one step away from you. So like what's going on around you in the environment a little bit. There's a lot of heavy communication, but it seems to be coming forward with like a careful tongue. It's almost like saying, we're going to have budget cuts, but it's saying almost kind of like the people who are over in these departments and these departments don't have to worry about that. The people in these departments and these departments, they have to worry about this type of thing and that type of thing. Because the deer coming in with the eagle spirit, but it's also, the deer with the eagle especially is telling me honest and true communication is coming forward, but it's trying to be gentle about it. Like, yeah, we're going to have some changes. We're not sure if we're going to have to, what we're going to have to do with staffing, but we're looking into that. We're going to try to keep as much staffing as possible for those of you that it's hitting that way. But also with the badger here, the energy is kind of like other people have control. And when a decision is made, that decision will be carried out, and there will be no questioning of it. That's what I'm feeling with the badger. Badger's a very strong energy, in my opinion. But I'm getting like once the environment makes their decision, there's no negotiating it once the decision is made. So once it's done, it's done. Now, you still seem to be okay at this point. I'm not sure. We have face down cards here at the end, so we have to see how it's going to go. You got the Empress card. Don't get caught up in the gender, but the person watching this, the Capricorn energy, I'm getting you're looking at the situation and you're kind of like, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to show my worth. I'm also going to like look into things and see where other people are going and what other people are doing. I'm going to cover my bases a little bit is what I'm getting. You're not going to go crazy about it, but you're kind of like, I'm going to keep my ear open to possibilities. Because if something's going to happen here, I just need a plan to what I'm going to do. So, like, if this doesn't go well, is there a severance package? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Where will I look for a job? Like, you're just kind of like, it's just almost like having a backup plan. Kind of like, I don't feel like I should have a problem, but if something does, I'll have this backup plan. I'll know what I need to do if such thing happens. The environment is acting weird. There's the Five of Pentacles, but it's with the Nine of Cups. There's a very weird energy here. And this was face down, so there's people who are very content and happy with where the situation is, but there's also people who feel very left out in the cold and very like nervous that like they're gonna have a real big problem now. There's like a mix. There's like half seem to be really upset, other half seem to be very comfortable and confident that everything's gonna be fine. It's like there's no middle ground here. But I feel like the people who are really happy or comfortable, they're keeping it to themselves. Some people feel very self-assured that they have nothing to worry about. That's what it is. Some people feel like they have nothing to worry about, but they're keeping that to themselves. Other people are very nervous, and it's very apparent. And I feel like at this point, you're just kind of pulling back from the energy. You've said your piece. You're not really into repeating it again. So you're going on. You feel very secure. You feel comfortable is what I'm getting. What's coming in next? We're going to flip all these cards. Okay. The wolf spirit comes in. That's in the environment. Turn knowledge into wisdom. The wolf is usually a teacher, but sometimes the wolf is also the one who gives the lesson. Don't leave things outside that you don't want to lose. Something like that. Like if you're going to leave chickens unattended and there's a wolf out there, if you're going to leave lambs, you're going to leave sheep unattended and there's a wolf out there, that's one of those things, like one of those lessons. That's how I take it anyway. It's also the good and bad wolf, but when do you feed, that lesson's there too. There's different lessons, of course. But I'm getting like, this might be like, pay attention to what you're doing, that type of energy. I'm getting that when this comes forward, when this situation shakes out, I'm getting that you have to talk to your advantage. You seem to be pushed into a position where you have to help make decisions. I feel like you're pushed into a situation where you have to help make decisions. This is not the easiest thing, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, you put things in line, you line it all up, and you just kind of like, you just line it up, and you're like, this is the least valued person to the most valued person, and this is why. You're not saying to do this, to do that. You're not making decisions, so to speak, but you're just saying this is the least valued, this is the most valued, and this is why. Maybe there's a bunch in the middle here that are kind of equal value, but your advice is asked for here. Your opinion is wanted, needed, warranted. There we go. I'm getting the Ace of Cups with the Queen of Swords, though, because it's telling me that you are secure. You seem to have known this the whole time, though. But you're pushed into this position where you have to say, well, this is what I think should happen. This is who I think should stay. Stuff like that. Like it's an analogy, but you have to give your opinion about what you think about a situation. And I'm getting like this secures you in this situation. You seem to be sticking into this situation. You also seem to be moving forward. Dragonfly is your last card, which to me speaks of a very spiritual connection. But when it says transcends illusion, I'm getting transcends to the next level. People don't know how connected you are to this situation at this point. Changes are going to be made here, but I feel like when the changes settle, you're going to rise above. You're going to do really well with these changes. Other people may be upset. And I feel like during the changes, there's going to be some energy here that other people's reactions may bother you. But like when you look at it on paper, you look like you're doing really well. Emotionally, you may be bothered by some of this. I think we need to put that in there. I do feel like emotionally you may be bothered by some of the changes and some of the things that had to happen. You did the best you could. But when it's all said and done, when you look at it on paper, it looks like you made out well. It's going to take you a little while to settle into that energy. but it is ending well for you. You seem to be going into the next level. So it feels good to me in that sense, but at the same time, it's kind of like what you watched go on around you. Having to help make these decisions does bother you. It does cause some weight on you, but I don't see you doing anything wrong. You just did the best you could with what you had in front of you. So to me, I don't feel like there's any reason for guilt when I'm on the outside, but I feel like you're still connected, and it's just kind of like the way things worked out. You're like, I wish there was different ways to do things. So you're feeling some pressure about that, but it's pressure you're putting on yourself. When you're able to let that go, and it's going to take you some time because you know what you're dealing with. When you're able to let it go, I feel like when all's said and done and the dust settles, I feel like you're going to be doing well. I feel like you're going to be very happy and comfortable. The dust might have to settle, though, a little bit. Anything else with this? All right. I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.